Belinda and HarperAudio Australia present this unabridged recording of Neeka and the Storm, Wilder Zoo, Book 2, written by Tina Strachan and read by Belle Parkinson. For Mum and Dad, T.S. For my dear friend Tash, thank you for always having my back. Love, Max. M.H. Chapter 1. I spun the hibiscus flower around in my fingertips, the yellow puffs of pollen jiggling and the delicate petals fluttering. I handed it to Darwin, who gobbled it up. The bright red petals fanned out from his tough beak as he ground them around in his mouth before they disappeared entirely. He took a slow, wobbly step towards me, eager for more. "Hold on, Darwin," I said to the 80-year-old Galapagos tortoise. He only came up to my knees in height, but he weighed about 3 times what I did, so I really didn't want to keep him waiting. I reached into my bucket, filled with more flowers, spinach and carrot, and pulled out another delicious-looking hibiscus. "There you go." I handed him the last 2 flowers before placing the rest of his food around his desert home so he could search for it himself. It might sound strange that I was feeding dinner to a Galapagos tortoise, but it was all part of a regular day for me. You see, my name's Neeka Wilder and I live in a zoo. Yep, a real zoo, with thousands of animals from all over the world. Which works out perfectly for me, because even though I'm only 11 years old, I already know I'll be a wildlife vet when I grow up, just like my mum, Sarah. She's the head vet at Wilder Zoo, a huge zoo focused on wildlife conservation and founded by my dad's grandparents. So when my parents met at the zoo almost 15 years ago, it was inevitable that I'd be born with a passion for wildlife. We all live in a 2-story house at the back of the zoo, including my 4-year-old brother Gus. I've lived there my whole life, and the zoo staff and the animals are all part of my big, extended family. "See you tomorrow, Darwin," I called, climbing over the short wooden fence. "Stay dry." I looked up at the darkening sky. An afternoon storm was forecast. It had been hot and dry for so long now, and we were really overdue for some big, soaking rain. The clouds were growing gloomier by the minute, and the air around me felt really heavy. All the zoo staff were working flat out to finish their jobs and make sure the animals had everything they needed before the rain hit. I tossed my empty bucket in the special green wagon attached to the back of my bike. It is really handy for carrying lots of stuff around the zoo. Most of the zookeepers use small electric buggies, but I'm too young to drive one. For now, my wagon does the job just fine. I surveyed the buckets of food in it as thunder rumbled in the distance. "Next stop, penguins," I said to myself and pushed off on my bike. I hand-fed fish to the emperor penguins, ensuring each got enough food. Some people thought the penguins all looked the same, but not me. Rosie had really orange feathers on her cheeks. August had a strip of black feathers on his chest. Marcus was the biggest by far. And Piku, Hibiri, and Tico were the smallest, but one was super shiny, one was shy, and the other was the loudest. After the penguins had filled their bellies, I set off to the Tasmanian Devils in the Southern Forests walkthrough exhibit. When I reached their field, they were already running about, climbing to the top of the rocky mounds to get the best position to sniff the scents in the air, arguing over dens and digging around in the grass. I stood outside so they couldn't see me and threw their dinner, a delicious feast of beef bones, into their habitat in all different spots. It was so funny watching them get all excited about the surprise food delivery. They would use their great sense of smell to find the bones and then either try and run away from the others so they had a meal all to themselves, or try to steal someone else's feast with a tug of war. Devils were amazing to watch crunch through bone with their teeth, but they really weren't good at sharing. Next, I pushed on through the pathways in the back-of-house area. This area was for staff only and no visitors were allowed. Some animals were housed there too, like our helmeted honey-eaters, who were part of a very special breeding program and needed an extra quiet environment. And our...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?